We are on Eruvin, Perek Zion, Mishnah Yud Aleph, 11th and final Mishnah in the 7th chapter of Eruvin. The Mishnah says, Noten Adam Ma'a lechenveni. I can give money to a chenveni. If I give money to a chenveni, to a store owner or a shop owner, so I go to the local makol and I give him 100 shekel. Ulenachtom, I go to the baker, Kadesh yizkel lo eruv, in order that he should be mizakeh, the eruv for me. Divrei Rabbi Eliezer. So I say to him, listen, I don't have any money to give you. So my chenveni, right, he's the guy who does the eruv in our community, my local shopkeeper, and I go to the makol and I say, here's an extra 50. I want you to do the eruv on my behalf. So Rabbi Eliezer says that works. Notein adam ma'ik, that works. The chachamim omrim, lo zaku lo ma'otav. Chachamim say, no. Lo zaku lo ma'otav. The money did not work in order for him to be part of an eruv. This is a very interesting intricate halachic discussion. Why is that? So, and you always have to ask yourself, which one seems more logical? The guy who gave the money being included, or the chachamim, that's Rabbi Eliezer, or the chachamim saying it doesn't work? Seems to be, why not? What's the difference? Why wouldn't you be able to seems to be chachamim make more sense. Why would Rabbi Eliezer not allow, the other way around. Seems Rabbi Eliezer makes sense. You give money, you'll be part of the eruv. Why, according to chachamim, do they say, lo zachulo ma'otav, that it shouldn't work, that his money does not get him to be a part of the eruv? So the Bartenura explains the following. Let's start with chachamim. Bartenura says there's a principle, ein ma'ot konot, ad she'im shov. This is a halachic principle that we know well, that actually is halacha. Okay? Ein ma'ot konot, or ma'ot lo konot. That when I give money, if I go to a store and I give money, money is not considered a transaction. The Rabbana made a gzeira because of different reasons. They made a decree. Ma'ot einam konos. When I give money, and I give money in order to buy, I go and say, I want to buy the furniture. Here's 500 shekel. Here's $1,000. Here's whatever, and I pay. I can still back out. I shouldn't, but I can still. It's not my furniture until I pick it up, until I make a kinyan on it. There's no money making. Money doesn't make a kinyan. So therefore, when I go to the guy and I say, here's 50 shekel, I want you to include me in your eruv. I want you to, here's 50 shekel for the rolls that I'm going to have in my eruv. So the chachamim say, ein ma'ot konot. So therefore, the chenveni, this boy makes an eruv and he says, oh, by the way, we're going to include Spalter's rolls that he bought from me. But they're not my rolls. They're still his rolls because I only paid him. I didn't make a kinyan. So what it says, okay, that doesn't work. But then I'll say, well, what if he just gives it to me? He says, listen, I'll include everyone, including Spalter, in the eruv. The Bartenura says, even if he had in mind everyone else, v'zika gam lezeh, and he included me, no eruv, that doesn't count. Why? Everyone else is that I have in mind, all the roles here are going to be on their behalf for me. Okay? But everyone else was kishar mizakin, kishar makni. He wasn't like everyone else. But he remembered, for Spalter, but his role is in here. But my role is not in here because I didn't make a kinyan. I didn't make a kinyan. And it turns out that he's making an eruv with money and not with food. And therefore, the money doesn't work. That's the opinion of the chachamim. So, why would it work? Why does it work according to Rabbi Eliezer? Rabbi Eliezer says, Notein adam ma'a lechenveni o lenachtom if ma'ot enam konot. So the Kahati explains, that I have here, explains that Rabbi Eliezer felt that the chachamim, even though midurabanan ma'ot enam konot, midoraita ma'ot were konot. So here we said, in the first case, giving of money, Rabbi Eliezer says, Notein adam ma'a lechenveni lenachtom. A person can give money. Okay? So we'll say, Somchim al din deoraita shema'ot konot. That's the Kahati's explanation. We'll just make that smaller so we know that's the explanation of the Kahati. I'll just write in here, Kahati. On the other hand, we learned, according to the Chachamim, lo zachu ma'otav. Why? Ma'ot einam konot. Ma'ot aren't a kinyan. Hu lo mashach. I didn't make the mashich. I didn't make a kinyan. Therefore, the fruit or the rolls, let's say kikarot. Okay, the rolls that the chenveni made that would be for me are not mine. And he didn't have an intention to be the zakot mimatnat chenveni. So therefore, that's in the case of chenveni. Let's go back to the Mishnah. Okay, but umodim b'sha'ah kol adam, they admit with everyone else, not the chenveni, like you don't go to, let's say you go to the neighbor. my neighbor declines, he's making the eruv, so I go give him 50 shekel. Shezachu lo ma'otav. Then the money is effective. Why? She'ein ma'arvin la'adam ela mida'ato. Because the money here, she'ein ma'arvin la'adam, we don't make an eruv for a person, ela mida'ato. Unless you have his consent, his da'at. And the money here serves not as a kinyan, okay? Here we say kana eruv. My neighbor doesn't sell bread. He makes him a shliach. When I give him 50 shekels, I say, you become my shliach. And it's as if I said, Arevli, you do me a favor, make an eruv for me. And that's what it means. Okay, since it's his dat. So here in the second case, we shar b'nei adam, both Rabbi Lezer and Rabbi Chachamim say the money would work. Why? Because it's as if he says la'asoto shliach. That's the bartender that we just said. And he wanted to make him a shliach. So that's the machloket in the case of the chenvani and the nachtom. There's a machloket between Rabbi Lezer and the Chachamim. Whereas in the case of shar kol adam, anybody else, the money is not to buy the thing. It's in order to make him a shliach, and therefore giving the money is effective to make him to make him part of the eruv. What kind of eruv are we talking about? Amar Rabbi Yehuda. Which kind of eruv are we talking about? The eruvei tchumin. In the case of eruvei tchumin. Why? Because in the case of eruvei tchumin, I need your dot. Let's go back find the case of eruv tchumin. Remember, depending on where I put my eruv tchumin, that's going to affect how far I can go. If I put the eruv tchumin here so I can get into Gedera, that means I can't go the other way. I can't go to Beit Chilkiah to Yesodot in the other direction. So there's a cost of moving the eruv tchumin. Aval, the Mishnah continues, the eruvei chatzerot, but in eruv chatzerot, there's no cost. Everyone can be part of the eruv chatzerot. Therefore, ma'arvin leda'ato v'shalom leda'ato. I can make an eruv whether the person has in mind or not in mind. So all of this being part of the eruv and being a part is only in the case of eruv tchumin. But in the case of eruv chatzerot, you could do it midato, shalom leda'ato. Why? Because I could do something for a person's benefit, shalom b'fanav, without his knowledge. And even without his intention. If he's not losing anything, you're in the eruv. I don't want to be in the eruv. Why not? What do you care? You could carry and you don't lose anything. But ein chavin la'adam shelo b'fanav. But I can't cost somebody. Remember the case of the eruv tchumin, where it's going to be a chov for him, unless it's with his shelo b'fanav, without his consent and his knowledge. Well, long enough. We'll stop here. As always, comments or questions, email me at rspolter@gmail.com. And we'll dedicate our learning to memory of my father, Rav Simcha ben Yitzchak Kalman. Have a good day.